that are making a real difference to the state of the economy, trying to deal with the impact of climate change, helping our economies and societies to become more resilient and to mitigate the impact of climate change. And yet many of the businesses on this call struggle to find financing. But at the same time, we at Genesis spend all our time talking to financial institutions who have funding, but they are unable to find the SMEs in which to invest. So our sincere aim from this program is to really overcome this gap, that we can make conversations happen that results in an increase in financing to SMEs by making sure that the businesses which want to invest understand the opportunities and have the right products to meet the needs of the SMEs, as well as the businesses that are trying to seek funding are able to tell their stories and represent their businesses in a way that's effective in raising funding to support their growth objectives. So what this program does is set out on the slide. We aim to find SMEs that are investing across the 6 markets. We help to assess these businesses. We look to strengthen your businesses, and by this I mean providing the tools, training, and hands-on support to make sure that you are investor ready, and then to make the connections to people who actually have money that they're looking to invest. And finally, we're trying to learn from this so that we can work not just in the 6 countries that are part of this initial program, but expand it to the rest of the continent. So some bold ambitions, but we have a great team, and we've got lots of really interesting businesses, many of which are on the call today, and we believe this is imminently achievable. I should say at the outset is if anyone has joined this call who would prefer to be part of the Francophone conversation and to join a French webinar, we do have a channel, so please reach out to us if you would prefer to be part of the French session, and we'll put you into that webinar as well. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned out there, we have 2 organizations involved in this program or more, the UNDP and Genesis and the PISTA program. So let me ask one of my colleagues from the UN to just say a few things, and then we can talk again about Genesis.
Great. Thank you very much, Richard. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Zain Kazmi. I am a regional specialist with UNDP's Africa Sustainable Finance Hub. I'm based in Pretoria, South Africa, and I am representing the team. I'm the project manager for this initiative. And Richard has done a good job of providing an overview as to why, but I wanted just to provide a little bit of background on UNDP, where we are and why we are doing this, and the link to our wider work. So the need has already been described by Richard. Capital is there, but this idea from investors that the pipeline isn't strong enough of businesses such as yourselves in order for you to be investment ready and then absorb and receive capital. So UNDP, why are we doing this? So I'm sure as many of you probably know from the news, there is large reductions in development financing to the UN and to the development sector as a whole. And we are now pivoting how we operate and how we work with SMEs. Development financing goes down, but there is investment capital available on the continent. The UNDP is targeting the middle, that approach there to get businesses investment ready and then to access finance. So what this program aims to do is essentially reorient how we work with you, how we work with the businesses. And we're taking more of a market-led approach to really understand your needs and also understand the needs of investors, and provide the technical support and the specific tools and other capacity building components that you would need in order to access and receive financing. And that's what we're trying to do. We want to really listen to you, understand the market, so we can devise programs and projects that will work for you. You will see here on this slide, it says there are a couple of initiatives that are powering this. And this is just to tell you that UNDP, we have multiple projects and tools and services that we offer our offices and businesses and to investors in order to identify data, in order to access financing, and to improve the financial ecosystem of countries across the continent. This program is running in 6 countries, which you would have seen in the previous slide. They are Kenya, Malawi, Ghana, Mauritania, Senegal, and Congo. So that's a bit about us. This program runs for 18 months. We're 6 months in, and we're now at the stage of building out our pipeline, casting the net wide to get as many businesses engaged in the program at the beginning to understand your needs. And the Genesis team will tell you more about that as we progress through today's session. Back over to you, Richard, to speak about Genesis.
Thank you, Zane. Thanks for the introduction. And I'm loving the comments that are popping up. Everyone's welcome to use the chat in this call. Thank you to those who are introducing your businesses. Please feel free to join and add your comments or your who you are. There's a lot of people on this call, so really exciting to see a little bit more. At the moment, we just know names, not necessarily the underlying businesses. Thank you, Zane. Just to say a little bit more about Genesis, which is the firm I lead and which is in partnership with UNDP on this project. We're a specialist advisory firm working across the African continent. We have been working in financial sector and financial services development and impact and advisory across the African continent for about 25 years. We have offices in South Africa, which is where I'm seated today, Kenya, Cote d'Ivoire, and the UK. And we have colleagues who are based in another 7 African countries. So we really have a lot of feet on the ground, and this has given us great opportunity to create value for the businesses we work with over the years, and we will continue to serve the businesses we work with and those on the call as we proceed with this program. So what are we aiming to do for you in this program? Well, first of all, our job is to identify and find and screen SMEs through our networks, referrals, and through open applications. And if we look at the participation on the call, when I last looked, we were at over 100 people. It seems we've done a reasonable job on this, and we look forward to going from that initial find and screen into the next phase, which is really assessing the businesses against what investors are actually looking for. And we have a range of tools, which my colleagues are going to describe a little later, to help us do this and to work with you to make sure that we understand your business as best we can, and we can help you represent your business to the investor community. Once we know what you've got and what we're working with, our aim is to strengthen the many of the businesses by providing tools, training, and one-on-one advisory to help us close the gaps between how you think about your business and how an investor would consider your business. The next step of the process is we connect. We've done a lot of work so far in the program, talking to investors, understanding who's out there, what they're trying to do, what money they're trying to disperse, and this step will then now be to bring the two together. We've just jumped onto another screen, sorry, can we go back a screen? There we go. And then we obviously have to report on our progress and to hopefully tell your stories and tell the wider community of what opportunities exist in Africa, and that's the last stage of our process. Next slide, please. I think we've covered some of this. David, do you want to jump in at this point?
Sure. So thank you, Richard, and thank you, Zane. So pretty self-explanatory. We will go into a little bit of details, but in the interest of time, why don't I pass to the next slide? Unless, Zane, you want to cover some of the content here?
No,
Great.
that's fine. I think. Sorry, just the key takeaway in this one is that last point on that slide at the end: no cost to you, to the businesses.
Thank you. Great. Next one. So great. Richard, thank you for the introduction. Your wealth of experience and knowledge is absolutely crucial to the success of this program. I'm David Ross. I'm running the project team. I've helped to mobilize or design about $1 billion of funds or capital raising in sub-Saharan Africa, based in Rwanda, covering our work in Kenya and Ghana for this project. I'm joined by Stella, who has 15 years, Sue, who has 10 years, Ursula, 7 years, Dick, who has 3 years. And we also have a DAFT, which is a tool that we'll be explaining a little bit further and in subsequent sessions. So moving on to what I hope the takeaway is from this slide is that we've got a significant amount of experience in the markets, people living in the different countries or in the region that have helped SMEs mobilize capital numerous times. We've seen different things over the past several years and are seeking to stand on the shoulders of the good work that's been already done. Next slide, please. Great. So you guys have heard this all before. You've heard about different accelerator programs from different development partner agencies, and most of the time they'll put you in a classroom, they'll offer you mentorship, they'll do some hand-holding, and they'll try to introduce you to funders. There's been a recent, in maybe in the past 2 to 3 years, there's been an advance where they'll connect you with different service providers, and so some of those are Sandbox and Taramberry. The third one, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create tools and templates that really help you take as much or as little time utilizing these tools as possible. And then we ask you some questions and we introduce you to investors, whether they're internal to the UN system or to connected to the UN system or third parties. So this one is we highly respect your time and your attention. We understand that there's a lot of other things going on, and sitting in a classroom is not your interest. Connecting with resources are available, and the introduction of modern tool sets, digital tools, and AI make our ability to help you hopefully exponential in our effectiveness. Moving on to the next slide. So yes, we understand that your time is valuable. We're going to be focusing on the highest likelihood of success, and we hope to demonstrate that there is advantages when you share your successes. We want you to focus your time on your market, your product, your customers, and that's your most valuable resource. We find that our greatest value is providing you tools and warm introductions, and that's what we're going to focus on. And we assume that there's a high correlation between entrepreneurs that can use the tools that we've built or tools that we hope to build, and those will correlate successfully with funding. So we are not going to be spoon feeding you a lot of information. We're going to be providing you resources and hope that you take advantage of them. And then also we hope that the funding that we introduce you to will strengthen your business, and you share those successes with us and our team, and we can highlight those successes either in aggregate or specifically depending on your privacy preferences. And that will help highlight the good work that your company is doing with your prospective customers as well as prospective funders in the future. Next slide, please. So since we're trying to be focusing on the areas that have the highest likelihood of success, we've identified the different types of funding. And what you'll see here is that we anticipate helping companies to identify supplier and trade credit that are into import and or distribution. There are grants that can help to unlock or subsidize additional funding as part of an overall capital stack. There are local bank loans that are evolving to work more with SMEs, and there are credit lines that have better collateral terms that we have relationships with. And in addition, we see there's opportunities for factoring and asset lending. Other programs will be focusing on impact investment or venture capital. We will be doing those in some instances, but as you can see, the research suggests that those are very, very low percentage chances. And most of the SMEs that we're working with will not necessarily be able to qualify for private equity type of funding. This is not the entire universe of money out there, but we anticipate that these are the areas that we'll be able to most effectively link you with and see some success. Next slide, please. So let's get some examples. These are not necessarily real, but they're more illustrative. So we have a situation where Robert, he has a business. He's exhausted the collateral at his local bank. He can't grow anymore because he doesn't have any more collateral. One of the things that we can do is there are other programs that we're aware of that are linked with different development partner systems and programs that offer better rates and terms that can extend the collateral. We would introduce Robert to one or more of those banks and see if he can refinance or restructure those loans so that he can get access to more credit. Another example is with Akila. Her business, she imports and distributes, for example, solar or clean cooking or other types of goods, but she's constrained because she has to pay cash even before delivery, and that really puts a push on her cash flow statements and her challenges. So what we would assist Akila with is arranging trade finance or supplier credit terms, and then make warm introductions to the participants that are in that business. Another one is Samuel. He's a processor. He makes materials, whether circular economy or otherwise, and he needs equipment, but he has limited collateral. Similarly to Robert, we would link him with organizations that help to enhance his collateral, so he can access some asset finance or equipment financing. So these are some very illustrative examples. Each business is a little bit different. Each financial solution is a little bit different, but we anticipate these are some of the examples that we would like to help companies with, and can do so in a relatively short period of time. Next slide, please. So what do we have to offer? So I mentioned tools in our DAFT tool. So DAFT stands for Digital Access to Finance Toolkit, DAFT. So right now what we have, and all the people on this call have immediate access to 110 different guides, tools, and calculators. If you complete, you see that bit.ly SME diagnostic URL. If you type that in, and if you've already completed the survey, we ask a bunch of questions that should be able to be answered in about 10 to 15 minutes at most. And what that will do is that will give you free unlimited access to our 110 plus tools, as well as an AI-enabled chatbot. So the chatbot we've built is trained on greed and financing methods and techniques, as well as grants and other resources and other programs that you can access that will guide you through the different tools and calculators. So banks will often ask you to provide a tax clearance certificate before they're able to provide you financing. We walk you through, and our chatbot will walk you through how do you go to and get the tax clearance certificate, how do you comply with local regulations and all of that. We recognize that we're operating in 6 countries that have about 17 plus different official languages. You can talk to our chatbot in whatever language you prefer, and get outputs in whichever language you prefer. The information that you talk to our chatbot is completely private and secure. We do not technically have the ability to record any information. It's on the Google platform, so Google in the back end may be tracking, but we don't have any access to that. So every question you ask is completely independent of us. There are no files saved for us. That said, you can download the files yourselves and share them with your team and use them for your own purposes. So there's no cost to you for any of these tools. We anticipate building more tools as well that speak to specific needs based upon the feedback that we get from you and from other participants. Next slide, please. So we're going to be working with different types of investors, so across the different countries that we're working in. And so subsequent webinars and sessions will be provided to you that talk about the specific programs and details in each of the different countries. And we have our country leads that will be leading those different sessions specific to each country. Next slide. So how can you as a business owner, how can you maximize your value from this program? We are designing these very brief surveys, issuing them to the everyone, and asking, what are your needs of your business? And from there, we diagnose those needs, and then we identify where are the greatest gaps and where are the tools that we can create to fill those gaps. We highly encourage you to interact with the tools. Please play with them, see if you can break them, and see how they could be useful. Give us feedback on how we can improve them. Where we have webinars, we encourage you to attend. Please stay engaged with us. And if you are listening to the webinars, or if you even have your own AI chatbot listening to our transcript, we encourage you to take advantage of what we're providing and engage with us. And then, of course, we encourage you to share your success stories so we can help increase your revenue by introducing you to new customers, distributors, as well as prepare you for additional financing and funding. Next slide, please. So what are we doing next? So we've provided these tools. We introduced you to what types of funding we're looking at. We suggested that we've got around a year where we can support and help your business. What do we do next? So the next immediate step is next week, Thursday, same time. We're going to be going through the details of what is this toolkit, how can you get the most out of it, how can you interact with our chatbot tool, what are some different use cases, and we'll be doing that very soon, and then there'll be invitations sent early next week to all of you. In addition, we'll be interacting with each country and providing different informational sessions that are and tools relevant to the different nuances of operating and financing in each country. We'll be asking you questions, issuing you surveys, understanding your needs, and then we'll be analyzing that and then providing tailored support, warm introductions, and then following up with you to see where there may be challenges between you and different funders, and work together to try to find the solutions to those funders. And then, of course, we'll be celebrating successes. We'll be celebrating, documenting successful financing outcomes, and encouraging you to share your successes as well. Again, we're not trying to be all things to all people. We're trying to be as effective and efficient as possible. So that, if we can go to the next slide, please. Great. So thank you. So let me just kind of open it up for questions. I see some encouragement in the people doing thumbs up. So thank you for that. I think maybe if you could put your questions in the chat window, that would be perhaps helpful. I see Alexander, you had the first question. Maybe do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question? You're asking us, how do you access warm introductions? Can you maybe give a little bit more color on that for us, please?
Yeah, we really appreciate the offering that you guys have put together. So thank you so much for all the tools. I've already kind of dived into the Google folder and clicked through those. So thank you. And I'm sure there's a lot of material that we'll benefit from in there. But speaking for us in particular, and I'm sure this is true for a number of companies here, we would really find tremendous value in having targeted introductions to investors in your network. So if you're able to tailor any of those warm introductions, that would be really valuable to us.
Great, thank you, Alexander. So our process is we're at the end of rainy season here in Rwanda. So apologies if you hear that. Yeah, so we're going to be receiving. So thank you for completing the surveys and the diagnostic information. What we want to do is we want to make warm introductions to be well received and successful. And so we will be asking you and other businesses. What are the types of introductions that you're looking for to ensure that we're making a good fit? And then we will ask if the profile of your company is interesting for those investors, and then where there's a match, we will make those introductions. If there are specific investors that you don't have relationships with that you would like, then please email us at smeinvestment@genesisanalytics.com. I hope that answers your question. Now, there was another question from Kimani Nagugi. Ultimate end goal, maybe I can answer that one directly. Our ultimate end goal is twofold. One is to get SMEs to be on a path to sustainably financing in the green and climate relevant space, and then also to demonstrate that it is possible for green and climate relevant companies in sub-Saharan Africa to get funded, and then to basically roll that program, a program of support and activities into the market, and to show that there is a viable market for green and sustainable businesses, as well as for green and sustainable financing. Kimani, does that, okay, I hope that answers your question. Kwamboka Florin, you had mentioned how do early stage entrepreneurs who depend on grants benefit from the program. So Kwamboka, we will be training our DAFT AI tool to provide for different grant programs, and we will also be providing, so you can search what are the grant programs that are available for companies in the circular economy of bricks, in construction bricks, for example, and you will hopefully get an answer. So for example, in Republic of Congo, and you'll hopefully get an answer on the eligible grant programs that are presently open and some of the criteria. The tool will also hopefully in the near term be able to guide you through how to complete the grants programs for that. That answers your question. Kwamboka, is that anything else about the grants that you'd like to answer? Edwin, where are you at? If we can access the slides and how we proceed to getting funding. I believe the slides and the recordings will be provided to you late this week or early next week. In regards to proceeding with getting funding, we're going to go through a process of kind of doing that analysis and matching. So please, if we ask you surveys, please complete them. And then where we see opportunities for warm introductions, we will make those warm, we'll check with you and make the warm introductions. Edwin, does that answer your question? Dumisani, repayments in local currency, FX. Dumisani, it's going to be dependent on each individual type of investments. But if you have additional questions or concerns, then please email us, and we can see what the opportunities could be for the different types of funding. Interest rate, Otienio, interest rate for the bank loans, it's going to be specific to each different program, and also there's also negotiations that each business is able to make. So it's going to be dependent on the specific proposal to the bank. Ratman, does this program support consulting professional services? It's focused mostly on product and service-based SMEs in the green and climate relevant space. If you're not offering a service in that space, then we will be supporting you. Can the program structure revolving credit lines or short-term bridge financing? Yes, we can look at that. It'll be on a case-by-case basis. That's a question for Freda Marie. A link to access the tools. Eugene, you should have received the access to the tools after completing the survey, but if you haven't, then please email us. Now let's go on to the hands up. Rushank, Bardiola.
Hi, David. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, I have a quick question and maybe very specific to my business. I have raised money before, and now I'm very close to closing around with the development agency, but they come with a matching finance kind of thing. So once I do that, I would require a matching. And how, because I have been in multiple UN-based trainings, and it takes me 6 months before I finish the training, before I get access to all the accesses. And so that's my question. Like, if imagine in the next 2 weeks, I close the deal with the Lux Dev or the SECO, how fast can we like go and access the matching funding. And my business is a bit of scale, so it can meet the impact investor kind of, or a family office kind of a space.
Great. Thank you, Shuk, and congratulations on your funding successes and your imminent funding from support programs. Yes, we do look at and support matching funding. I think that's a great opportunity for us to add value. So please do email us. Ursula just put up our email address. Please do email us at smeinvestment@genesis-analytics.com with your specific details, and we'll work as fast as we can, as efficiently as we can to see how we can help you. And we're going to work as fast as we can and efficiently as we can to help as many people as we can, which is why we do surveys and other methods of doing that. Next, Rushank, if you can kindly lower your hand so I can go with the other people. George Sarpong.
Thank you, David. Wonderful presentation. I think Rushan just asked my question. And so I'm in the same scenario. Unfortunately, mine is quite time sensitive. We are farming 1,150 hectares of sweet potato. Land had been prepared. We've just received our mechanized equipment. We're clearing them from the port. We need a working capital of 2 million. We find ourselves in chicken and egg situation, matching this and that and that. So time is of the essence to us because we've spent a lot of money to do this. Next week, all our experts are arriving who are training our team and smallholder farmers so that in about a year, this operation will be 1,000% Ghana-led, you understand? And so timing and how to, you can help us quickly to get money is very crucial. And then Roshan, please, if you can, let's connect backdoor and see if I can also approach your investor, because sometimes they see mine is a 3 months crop. And every 4 months, I'll be making almost 10 million USD if we get the 2 million USD in working capital. So if we can partner up and then see if we can, tag on your investor too, that would be very, very great for me. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Yeah, so I think we will do as much as we can, as fast as we can. The tools that we have are accessible right now, and you can search for relevant investors. Just if Rushank tells you any information that he feels is important, then about his investment, that's his own privacy. But if Rushank tells us, we can't tell you, right? So we also maintain privacy of individual investors.
I will get in touch with you.
Great, and thank you for the nice, impromptu collaboration. We definitely encourage that. We also encourage people to drop their LinkedIn or other email or contact information in the chat so we can encourage further collaborations. Carrie Leon. Oh, okay. On our team, Stella. Stella is our lead from Malawi. Go ahead, Stella.
Hi, David. Thank you for all the wonderful information you've provided, and thanks for everyone for taking the time. I think maybe on our side, the one area where we need to stress just a little bit more are two things. One is that there is a criteria to participate in the program. As my colleagues have already mentioned, we can't be everything for everyone. So the type of businesses that we are wanting or we are mandated to support are as follows. You must have at least $50,000 in annual revenue, whether from the current year or the previous one. So this program is not necessarily suitable for, let's say, startups. And then the other key criteria is that you should have a green business or climate related business, and that could be a whole range of things. But if you can loosely say, my business is good for the environment, or it's whether it's adaptation or mitigation, and you can reach out to us directly to say, this is what I'm doing. Is it a suitable business? So I hope that everybody understands that there's a very specific type of business that we are mandated to support. And then the other aspect, and I noticed that especially here in Malawi, like the people that I interact with the most, because of some of that experience that Rushank has mentioned, to say normally UNDP and other UN agencies provide grants, hard grants, to say here's money. This program is significantly different in that as Genesis Analytics, we are supporting UNDP to do a very specific thing, and that's those warm introductions, but also technical support. So we do not have a fund to disperse. So when people ask what's the criteria, or can you give me working capital, or can you give me this specific product, the answer is not necessarily. What we do, what we're being paid to do, is to understand your business on the one hand, and on the other hand, understand what the existing investors are looking for, and then match make you. For example, here in Malawi, I've got about 10 potential investors that we'll be working with for Malawian enterprises, entrepreneurs, and each one of those investors has a different criteria. So I hope that gives a little bit more clarity, and you can reach out to each country's person or lead to understand a bit more about the criteria. So when you're thinking of what you're looking for, there's a range that we can provide, not just, let's say, export credits or working capital or private equity. There's a range. So I just thought I should clarify that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Stella. Very, very helpful to give the context. Again, we're not trying to be all things to all people. We're trying to be a very, very specific, targeted and effective program. Litsam Investment, over to you. Litsam Investment, I see you have your hand raised. Okay. Brian Arasa, over to you.
Okay, thank you, David. And I can say that it's a tremendous job that your team is currently holding when it comes to Genesis and UNDP. So my main question is, I had Stella mentioning that another criteria that you are using when you are shortlisting the companies is on the revenue, right? And you are specifically focusing on around 50,000 USD. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my
end up 50,000 USD to around 10 million USD.
To around 10 million USD.
In term, equivalent in local currency as well.
Okay, that's around, let's say, 6 million Kenyan shillings, I believe. So the question comes where you find that I have a client. I have like clients who are already lining up to purchase our items. So it's not a revenue that has already converted yet to a revenue that can be considered as a profit or loss, but at least I can be able to say it's a revenue that has already been committed. Can it still be considered as a revenue when you're doing the matchmaking of the funders?
So Brian, thank you for that. It's a good question. So there's the what we will tell you is that you will be able to have full access to all of our tools and resources, and access to all of our materials and webinars. And in the event that there's an opportunity to match you with an investor that fits with the criteria, then we will do so. We leave it to the investor to decide if your business is a fit. So we are leaving it largely to the investors to conduct their own due diligence to see if what you have is something that they have an interest in pursuing further. So ideally, there will be opportunities, if not in the future, or not immediately, then in the future, or there may be other collaborations that can be developed. So I hope that, but each individual situation is a little bit different. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes. That actually answers my question. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to interact more.
Thank you. Great. So thank you guys for the great interactions and feedback. I see that we have another hand up from Chiari Leon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the presentations that you have showed us today. It's really encouraging. So my name is Leon Kerie, founder of Leon Technologies in Kenya. Leon Technologies is an early stage agri-business coordination venture focused on organizing smallholder farmers into structured and market-ready supply networks. We are currently focused on validation and pilot development, particularly within the potato and avocado value chains. We're learning directly from agricultural operators and farmer ecosystems in Kenya. My question for you today, Mr. David, is for businesses still in validation and pilot development, what milestones does the program typically look for before deeper investor engagement? And the second question is, are there opportunities within the program to connect with ecosystem partners, agricultural operators, or pilot collaborators? Thank you.
So I would say that there are not really any specific milestones that say yes or no. Similar to last, you have the full access to all of our tools and resources, and different funders have different milestones and different programs that they're looking for. One area that we also see as an opportunity for us to support businesses that may be a little bit earlier stage would be to connect them to incubators, accelerator programs that are a little bit more focused on their industry or their stage. So some of them may have applications for different grant programs or other types of support. So we encourage you to complete our surveys and diagnostics as they come out, and also to interact with our tools. If there are specific questions or opportunities, then please don't hesitate to email us at the email address, and we'll make sure that we look at every single opportunity there. So thank you for that. I see Maggie Kung, you've got a question. The 50,000 revenue, it applies in general for the amount of minimum funding that we're looking to mobilize for people. And so when we are matchmaking with grants, we're only kind of training our chatbot and only looking at grant programs that would be able to provide 50,000 USD and above. So if you were to search our chatbot toolnet right now for different grant programs, you may see some of them are available for you to consider applying for at the moment. But it's not going to be an area we'll be able to be spending a lot of time in handholding handholding for different companies. Okay, great. So let's over to you.
Thank you so much, and I'm really excited to be this program. Just like my other colleagues who have talked earlier, ReadSum is a project that has been existing for the last 6 years, and to some point, we had an opportunity to work with USAID. We had several trainings that helped us to put our house in order, and currently we are stuck in doing validation because we have been in production of medicinal herbs, fruit and vegetables. We have been participating in export market, whereby we have grant, but we are currently not able to supply the relevant volumes due to financial challenges. We have also trying to scale up the validation, where we have done a business plan on avocado oil extraction, having our own avocado at the farm, but we are still grounded because of we cannot get the machine. Although we won a KJET project in Kenya, and their funding was more or less than the value of the machine. So I was kindly requesting for the way to be guided on the way forward, because I have like 3 or 4 customers are waiting for the medicinal herbs that requires expansion. Although we have 10 greenhouses, we have a cold room, we have a pack house, but still the project requires some capital injection so that we can be able to scale up and meet the demand of our customers, or be able to stabilize in validation and be able to employ more women, youth, and persons with disability. Bearing in mind this project was started by a person with disability, and it is continuously trying to support women, youth, and persons with disability, where we provide free daycare center for the women who are working at the farm. So kindly, I'm requesting to be advised on how we can be able to be supported financially so that we don't lose the waiting customers. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. So I heard two opportunities there that are aligned with our support. So one was in trade finance and supplier finance. And so one of the potential areas that we could potentially support you in would be around linking you with potential trade or supplier financing. The second one was around equipment financing. So that would be another one where we could consider potentially linking you with equipment financing. So please complete the surveys as they come out. Please interact with our tools, and please, I would say, ask us questions and send emails so that we can best identify how we can support your business. Gadi Banda, over to you.
Hello, yeah, hope I'm audible. Okay, the only thing I want to ask is that you have put like $50,000 the minimum which you're looking for, and you are saying this program is mainly targeting SMEs, on which in other countries 50,000 is too kind of high up when it comes to SMEs. Couldn't it be able, you can lower the threshold to somewhere like 20 or 10, because SMEs do, because 50,000, like here in Malawi where I'm based, is something else which is more high up. A small business is able maybe have a threshold around 10 or 20. Can you be able to lower the threshold so it should actually be the program for SMEs? That's my question.
Okay, thank you, Gadi. So I would love to be able to help everyone in every situation all the time. Unfortunately, we have had to set kind of a floor for the type of support so that we can mobilize as much capital as we can and help as many people to gain as much as possible. If you were to email us and suggest that, your feedback, we would definitely record it and highlight that the demand for capital is not just above 50,000, but is also significantly below 50,000 USD equivalent. So I definitely hear you. I think the majority of capital needs are probably below 50,000. Unfortunately, we can't be all things to all people at all times. We do have some limitations, but we do encourage you to explore our tools, as there may be significant opportunities for different programs and resources that can help you perhaps at a lower amount of capital amount. You still, no matter how much capital you need, the tools are available free for you to use right now. Hilda, over to you.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for the presentation. We really appreciate. My question is one. I have joined a number of such groups that really help us, business people, and I realized when we are put in peer groups, like let's say from Kenya, we tend to help each other, where I'm stuck, where I need guidance, not necessarily from you, but from other of my, my other business people. I don't know if you group us that way, or how do we work? Do you just get in touch with each person on their own individually, or do we have groups that we can, ask questions if there was clarity and all that, and we're not able to reach any of you? I don't know. That's just what I want to know.
Sure, thank you. So I definitely admire the programs that are bringing people together and having a very high degree of touch and involvement, where there's a lot of peer learning. What we've done is we've taken a lot of the insights that you would likely gain, a lot of the questions that you would ask, and we trained our chatbot for that. So in essence, you are everyone is individually in a group with all of the smartest people in financing of SMEs in your country, at any time available to answer any question you might have on your phone or on your laptop or desktop, to ask any question at any level of detail. And by using our chatbot tool. And then if there are questions that you can't get answers to from our chatbot specific to your business, please don't hesitate to email us so we can improve our tools and resources. So you are in a group with the smartest, most experienced people that have gained knowledge and collected it over the past 20+ years. And it's all available to you at any time of day right now. So I think that perhaps exhausts all of our questions. What you've probably heard from me and from our team is that we're here to help. We're trying to be as efficient with your time and our time as possible. We thank you for participating. And let me maybe pass it over to Zane for our closing remarks.
Thank you, David. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, everybody, for your reflections and feedback. It's been very interesting to hear, and I'm glad that you see this program to be a benefit for you. I just wanted to say in closing that we as UNDP, we are using this program to test out approaches and models, and we hope to scale this type of program to other countries based on the lessons learned. David is right when he says we are trying to understand the market, we are trying to understand case by case, we are trying to understand your needs and the needs of financiers in order to get you access, to get you financed, essentially. So please just stay tuned, please do engage with the program, and if you're unable to participate, say in this cohort or this round of the program, then maybe we will be able to support you again when we hopefully scale the program, maybe in your country and even further. So I just wanted to end with that. And lastly, just thank you for your engagement.
Great. So thank you, Zane. I think that concludes our session today. Please don't hesitate to email smeinvestment@genesis-analytics.com if you've got questions. Please start working and playing with our tools. And please look for a recording of this session, as well as web links to the transcript, and also for an invitation to our walkthrough of our Digital Access Finance Toolkit at the same time next week, Thursday, 2 p.m. Central African time. All right. Thank you all.